Everybody, Paul here. On today's video, I'm just going to talk to you about camp postings, pros, cons, and things I didn't know. This should be a short video. I don't think this is going to take too long to go through, but I just kind of wanted to talk to you about what I think are the pros to camp posting, what I think are the cons to camp posting, things I didn't know about my particular campground or job, and whether I would do it again or not. I should also say that my camp posting experience might be a little different than other people, because this is a boat and campground, and so is my other campground. I am the camp host at Hideout Boat and Campground and Kingfisher Island Campground for the 2025 summer season. And we are actually getting ready to close out, and I figured this would be a good time to sit down and go through the pros and cons of camp posting. So I'm going to start with the pros. Right off the bat, it's just easy work and you make your own hours. I mean, there are times where I'd start at 6:30, stop at 7:30, make breakfast, start back up at like 9:30, work till like noon, then maybe work another couple hours in the evening. There's other days where I would just start at like 8 or 9, work for 3 or 4 hours, take a couple hours off, maybe work for a couple more hours. It just kind of really varied on my mood, how busy the campground was, and the things that needed taken care of. Another pro is you usually get to call a beautiful area home for the summer, or you get to work in a beautiful place for the summer. I got to work here in the Flaming Gorge National Recreational Area, and it's just been absolutely beautiful. For me, since I am in a boat and campground, the company I worked for provided me with a pontoon boat to use to get from my campground to the other campground, as well as to the boat ramp where I would meet my district manager on my days off, where I could go to town and get supplies. I've met some really awesome people here. There was a group of people that camped out at Kingfisher Island that I really got to know. They were regulars. Great people. They actually came out for my birthday. There were some other people here just this past weekend that were awesome I got to hang out with. So you do get to meet some really awesome and cool people when you are camp posting. I also got the benefit of working with a really awesome team. My district manager Tammy, my facility lead Rod, and my other camp hosts Jeff and Michelle were just been amazing people. Of course, that's going to probably vary from camping spot to camping spot who you end up working with, but in my case, I got to work with some really awesome people. Now, before I get to the cons, I wanted to talk about the things I didn't know about my particular campground. So when I got offered this job, I was told that we would have to help the Forest Service put in the docks and take them out. However, I was not aware that we would have to actually adjust the docks as needed, as well as move out the no-wake buoys as the water level rises and falls. The buoys aren't so much of a big deal. I think we moved them once, and they were pretty simple. The docks, on the other hand, the small ones, they weren't too bad, but some of the bigger docks I have at my campground were kind of a pain, especially my main dock where everybody kind of parks at Hideout. That thing would just kind of blow in the wind and was kind of frustrating. I also wasn't aware that I was going to be taking care of 2 campgrounds, which at first I was a little paranoid, but once I saw the second campground, it only has 6 sites. My main campground has 18, so it was pretty doable. My cabin was not as completed as I was led to believe. I was under the impression that everything was in it, that the only thing it needed was some trim work and solar. But when I got here, it was an empty box. There was no kitchenette or anything in it, and we had to put all that stuff into it earlier in the summer. I was also told that here at Hideout, and thankfully this did not happen to me, is that there's possible water outages here at Hideout. Basically, the spring that feeds my bathrooms and everything is getting weak. They used to have little taps here around the campsite. They no longer use those because of that issue. Like I said, thankfully I didn't have that problem. I heard last year they did, and they actually had to shut the bathrooms down and use like these portable toilets, and yeah, just glad I did not have to deal with that. Cons. So I already kind of talked about this. One of the cons for me was the cabin had to have a lot of work done to it on the inside. It was pretty much just a shed when I got here, and now it's got a kitchenette, a bed, a dresser, and everything. Parking a 24-foot pontoon boat. I said, having a boat to use was great, but it is a 24-foot pontoon boat, and it does get windy out here, and that was kind of a struggle to park by myself. Dealing with people all day long. You don't have like a clock in, like you clock in at 9, you clock out at 5. I have had people come to my cabin at like 9:30 at night looking for firewood. I've had people come to my cabin at like 7 o'clock in the morning when I'm trying to make breakfast. It can kind of be annoying. Also, at some of my first come, first serve sites, people wouldn't pay, so I'd have to track them down, try to get payment from them. Some people would pay at the very last day, and there's a few times where people didn't even pay at all. They just left. They didn't care, and that can be pretty annoying. And just hearing the noises from campers and the lake. I don't know if you can hear it now, but there's somebody out on a boat right now, and just hearing the campers, hearing their music all day long can get kind of tiresome. It's also hot here in the summer. I have limited shade here at my campground. The campsites have plenty of shade, but where my cabin's at, not so much. My AC didn't really work all that well at the cabin either, so that was kind of a frustration. The pay here was only $13.30 an hour, which is not a whole lot of money, especially usually for me. I like to work during the summer, save up as much money as I can, and work during the winter. Unfortunately, I'm probably not going to be able to do that this winter. I'm probably going to have to find some work. So for me, a con would definitely be the pay. Day use. So my campgrounds both have beach areas, and I was not informed of this when I took the job, but they are considered day use and are free to use. So I would constantly have people coming back and forth, using my restrooms, and just create some more work for me and a little bit more frustration as people are coming and going and just making a mess out of my campground. So tips for future camp hosts. I would say don't get the collared shirts. That's what I got. I thought it looked more professional, but it just proved to be really hot. I think I would just want the t-shirt or something lighter to be a little bit cooler in. Find places to take a break from the campers or campground. I wish I did more of this. Find somewhere to go and take a hike. Find somewhere where you can just escape for a little bit during the day. I'm not talking about your day off, but you get a lot of time in the afternoons where you don't really have to do anything. So for me, I wish I would have maybe taken a little bit more advantage of that. One of the things I would do is Kingfisher Island typically wasn't a busy campground, so sometimes I'd go there and hang out for an hour or two. If there were campers there and I felt like I needed to get away, I would find just a little nook or cranny somewhere here in the Flaming Gorge where there's nobody at, where I could just chill for like an hour or so and just kind of get away from everybody. And this kind of goes in with the other thing. Take a minute and just look where you are. I've really been trying to remind myself to just take everything in, especially as the season's winding down, and just appreciating where I am at. Would I do it again? A boat-in campground? No, I don't think I would do a boat-in campground again. I would like easy access to my personal vehicle, my personal rig. I have a van that I converted, and basically I got to haul everything down to the boat from the cabin, and then take the boat to the boat ramp, pull the boat, unload everything into my van, or if my district manager and her husband want to take the boat out, I'd have to load everything into her truck, then take it to my van and unload. My van was located at their campground, and then I'd have to do the opposite when I get back. Unload everything out of the van, onto the boat, put the boat in the water, come back to the campground, and take everything up to the cabin. It was just a lot of work. I don't think I'd want to do it. It got really tiresome to do that every single week when I had to go do laundry, get groceries, and all that fun stuff. If I were offered a normal campground, I'm going to be honest, I really don't know. I was told by my district manager, as well as my fellow camp hosts, that I'm really good at this job. I've gotten great reviews from my campers, and maybe having easy access to my own vehicle and my own rig, maybe it might have been a better experience for me. But as of right now, I don't I definitely know I want to do a boating campground again, but I don't think I want to do camp hosting again, at least anytime in the future. Maybe later on down the road, I might try it again, but as of right now, I don't have any plans to. And my final thoughts on all of this, I'm going to be honest, I'm glad I gave it a try. Camp hosting is something I've wanted to try for a couple of years now since I've hit the road, and I honestly thought I would love it. Didn't turn out to be the case, but hey, I tried it, now I know, and I can, see what else will work for me in the future. Also, just because it didn't work out for me doesn't mean it's not going to work out for you. My district manager and my other camp host, they love camp hosting. My friend who actually got me this job loves camp hosting. So just because I didn't really care for it doesn't mean, you might love it. And honestly, I say if you haven't done it before, you need to give it a try, because you won't honestly know until you try. And I hope that you get a wonderful district manager and fellow camp hosts like I did, and I hope it does work out for you. And yeah, that's kind of all I really have to say about my pros and cons of camp hostings and things I didn't really know about my campground and getting into it. But I hope this video maybe helps you make a decision. Like I said, I hope it doesn't steer you away from camp hosting. I hope it just gives you an idea that it may not be for everybody, and that's okay. And then there's other people who are going to absolutely love it, and you might be one of those people who absolutely love it. So for those of you who don't know me, my name's Paul. Welcome to my channel. If you like this video, give it a like, hit the subscribe button. And for all the rest of my regular viewers, I will see you all in the next video. Until then, y'all take care. Bye.